Who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it. Listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. Rugby is, it provides a different diversity of people, playing a sport and stuff. So we have, I think, the youngest is 18, the oldest is probably like early 40s, should we say? Not so sure if she's still playing or not. But yeah, there's definitely a mix, and it's good. We have a good social life off the back of it as well. So sort of the last 2 years especially, I fell in love with the sport. Had I picked it up about 10 years ago, I definitely would have probably pursued it, but then again, I probably wouldn't have become a singer. So, but yeah, luckily enough, got into sort of Warwickshire County after going to their trials, and now sort of hoping to play for them in the next couple of weeks.
So my mum, God bless her, a couple of times played in like the charity matches at Yatton Rugby Club, but never for 1 minute thought I would ever put on a pair of boots. To be honest, in my years of growing up through school and stuff, it just wasn't something that was readily available to girls to have even a go at, never mind sort of formally play the games. I've got 4 boys, twins in the middle, and they've just started rugby here at the Sills, as part of the amazing mini and junior section that we have. And me and a few of the mums would be there on the sidelines every weekend, cheering them along. And so these posters appeared, and yourself JT turns up and, right, come on you ladies, do you fancy a go at rugby? And we were like, well, do you know what, we're going to spend the next God knows how many years watching our kids, so how better to understand the laws of the game and be fully immersed in their game if we know a bit more about playing the game ourselves. So that's where it started.
Yeah, I've always been involved with women's rugby. So even though I was playing professionally at the time, I was still coaching women's rugby as well. So when I was in Belfast, I was coaching in the top Irish League for 3 years, and then when I moved to Jersey, I was coaching the only rugby team on the island, and we travelled over to London every other weekend to play in the London leagues, which is a really great experience as well, trying to manage that logistics side of it. So I've always got a passion for women's rugby, women's sport in general. It's helped, developing my sister who's now come through into the team. And it's gone from strength to strength really, and it's been a challenging couple of years, but I've enjoyed every moment of it, and it's made me, as we spoke earlier, made me a better coach and probably a better person as well, to be able to manage the relationships within the team and to try and get the best out of people.
One massive thing that stands out is obviously the addition of the Sirens. They've been sort of a great addition to the whole sort of senior part of the club in the last 4 years. And sort of seeing them develop over time almost gives us a little boost really, and so that we need to sometimes book up our ideas. We see them on Tuesdays and Thursdays with sort of 30, 40 players each session and training until 8:30, 9, and we're in the bar at half 7, 8, already sort of done our session. So I think they're definitely a great addition. COVID
actually did the Sirens a huge favour in that when we were allowed to go back out, we had so many girls were like, right, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I've now been trapped at home for 12 months. I've now got new ambitions, and I'm going to give this rugby a go. So we, after COVID and we were allowed back out, we got flooded with probably 5 or 6 new girls. And of course they were girls in their early 20s, exactly the right sort of age to give us some longevity. And then the best thing, they brought along a few more players. And then, since then we've just really progressed, but we've had some fantastic results for some of the girls. And, we've got quite a big squad now. We've probably got 35 plus girls registered. So we have come so far in such a short space of time that now really means that this Sirens team has got longevity in it.
I was based down in London for 10 years and then coming back up here, sort of starting a new life up here. I didn't really have the opportunity to meet a new group of girls, and now I've got a whole new different friendship group, some who I'd say are my closest friends off the back of it as well. And it's been a blessing.
There is a future for the Sirens without a doubt, but obviously there's only a future if we continue to take on new players. Obviously girls have children and stuff, so that takes them out for a little while, and that does change your perspective sometimes a little bit on whether you come back or not. But yeah, so you always need that churn of players. So I think we've absolutely got a future as the Sirens, and we're proving that over and over the last couple of years.
I can see so much potential here. There's so much potential in the type of calibre of players that are coming through the Sirens as well. We look at Zoe Evans, who's playing with Leicester Tigers at the moment, and Kate Darlington, who's playing for Lichfield and going into that Leicester Tigers pathway, which is, for girls that have not played rugby for like 4 years, that's amazing to have that kind of elevation into a professional team. So it also, in the girls within the squad, are seeing those girls and are seeing them as role models and seeing the potential. I could be the next Zoe Evans, I could be the next Kate Darlington. So I hope that it's not too far away. It's only a touching distance, and I think the more we become established as a club, and a women's section as well, and we keep growing it, I think we'll see a lot more people, a lot more girls reaching their potential. And look at what's happened, obviously, in the last month or so. We've had 7 players that are selected for Warwickshire, which is a great achievement.
I think it's generally just amazing to have women's sport, sort of generally speaking, across the field, whether that's football or anything. The more we publicise it, the more it's on television and everything like that, the more people are going to become more, accustomed to seeing women on telly and playing sport, and the less, stigma attached there's going to be to it. So I think it's, the more younger girls we bring up into the squad and everything like that, the bigger the influence for future generations, really.